What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here, and I'm back with another video game review, and it's Monokuma time! Yes, we are here with Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony review. I guess, spoiler-free at the beginning of this video, gonna be a little bit short, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that I can't reveal too much without giving a lot of major plot points away. So if you're a fan of the Danganronpa series, definitely check it out. It's worth your time. You know, it's not really tied into the main story as much as you might think a sequel would be, but it definitely is a sequel. And it's something that gives a nice story. They've got good characters again. They've got a nice, story and plot twists, mysteries going on. It's everything you love in a Danganronpa game. So if you're a fan of the series, you'll definitely love this one. Not much else I can say about it. If you're not already a fan of the series or you haven't checked out a game yet, I would say go ahead and check out this series because it's one that really does a very good job of storytelling. Not many games are great storytelling games. There are a few that are really good, a few that are good at it, and then there are some that are just there for the gameplay. This is not really one, gameplay-wise, it's probably not one that you're going to find a whole lot of enjoyment there. But if you love a good story with some good characters and a nice mystery as well, Danganronpa is definitely the game series for you. So, on that note, time to get into a little bit of spoilers because that's a lot of what Danganronpa is. So first of all, before I get too far into this game, I do want to talk about my history with Danganronpa because, to be fair, it's not a very long history. And what I mean by that is I really didn't get into the game series until probably a little less than a year ago. A friend of mine, she played the first game on like an emulator for the PSP. She's a big fan. We're both big fans of Zero Escape Trilogy and the Ace Attorney series, and so she's like, it's pretty much a combination of the two. I think you'll like it. And 1 and 2 Reloaded had just been released or re-released onto the PS4. I'm like, you know what? I'll check it out. So I bought it, played it, loved it. The characters were fun, the mysteries were fun. I'm a big mystery fan, so I'm just loving every part of it. And then I find out that Ultra Despair Girls is releasing I think it was last year at some point. But yeah, I figured out about that, and I'm just like, okay, I'll check that out. And I love the world building they did there, expanding upon the story, getting to see Makoto's sister and all that. A lot of fun there. And then we go into the anime. I find out about that, and I'm like, I gotta check this out. Come to find out, it's pretty much wrapping up Makoto's story. The big fight against Junko, the fight against Despair. And it was a great ending for it. It was a great little way to finish telling the story that they've been building up for so long. I'm just like, what can they do now? I found out about this game coming out. I'm like, what's next? What could they possibly do? I heard that this game is, from the developer, it's supposed to be a bit of a reboot. I'm not so sure if that's true or not, or if that's just something he's saying to make people think it's not going to be tied into the old games at all. But I guess the biggest spoiler you could really say about this game is that the title really shouldn't be Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. It should be Danganronpa V3 Killing the Fourth Wall. Because that's basically how the story ends, is the game series itself is a game series. That's where they go with this. And it's something that, you joke about it all the time. You could joke about, oh, are they going to say this is all a game now? Like when you played Danganronpa 2 and you found out it was all like a virtual world and they made jokes about it being a game and stuff. It's like, ah, ha, ha, yeah, it's a game. We get it, we get it. No, this actually goes all out and says, no, this is a game. Like, the world of Danganronpa is a game. And so that's where they go with it. The entire story, every story, Makoto's story, Hajime's story, the end of Hope's Peak Academy, all of it is all a game. Here's the thing. I love this twist because it's very clever, it's very well set up, and you can sort of see it coming if you catch all the clues, which I did not, and I don't know how many people actually will. But yeah, I thought it was a very interesting, clever twist. But there is one thing that bothers me with this, and that is it kind of makes the first, I guess, all of Makoto's story, it kind of makes it all feel meaningless, and it lessens its impact. And what I mean by that is, I realize that this is all fiction. I realize this is all just a game, it's a virtual world, haha, whatever. But the thing is, when the game itself turns it into that, it almost feels like it takes that away from us. You know, like it takes that feeling of we're in this world with them. You know, I'm playing as Makoto in the first game. I'm playing as Hajime in the second game. It almost makes it feel like, none of that's real. It kind of lessens the impact of it. And that's the big problem I have with it. You know, they even try to throw in a moral at the end where it's like, well, even this fiction, even if it is just fiction, can still be the truth, can still be real because it's powerful enough to. I get that, but at the same time, you just convinced me that none of those stories were real in this world. You know, this world has all been set up. It's like, oh no, that world isn't even real in the virtual world. It just kind of lessens, I guess, the importance of it. And for a game series that have affected me so much, it really kind of takes away from it. It takes away the importance of it. And I don't know, it kind of affects me a little bit. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. It may take me a couple days for me to really think it over and decide whether or not I like this ending fully. But that part of it is definitely not sitting well with me. But aside from that, I think the rest of the game is very good. You know, the characters are very, very well done. And that's something that's not been a thing for Danganronpa for the most part. There's always been, you know, one or two characters that just stand out as not great characters. You know, just like, I don't really care about them. I'd say in the first game it was probably Hifumi for me, and then the second game was Teruteru. Just they stood out as like kind of meaningless. You know, Hifumi in the first one was just sort of supposed to be this quirky, weird, nerdy guy who's supposed to spout all this gibberish about anime and represent the entire anime fan base, supposedly. And then the second game, you know, Teruteru was he just spouted perverted jokes all the time. You know, nothing he said was normal. So they both just sort of stood out to me as just like meaningless characters. In this game, there was no character like that really for me. I enjoyed every single one of them. They all had something about them that made them stand out. Even the most hated character for me, which was Kokichi, he felt like he was supposed to be hated. It felt like they purposefully did that. It wasn't just a poorly written character. He was supposed to be downright despicable, and you're not supposed to like him. You're supposed to hate his guts. And so, I don't know, I really like how they did that. I really like all the characters themselves. It hurt whenever some of these characters died. You know, seeing Kaede after the first case, I thought she was going to be a great main character. I instantly was just like, yes, Kaede's awesome. Shuichi even, he was just like stepping in and didn't realize he was going to be the main character at first, but I'm like, I like him too. They're both really, really good characters. And so, you know, Kaede's death stuck with me. I did not sleep well the night after I finished that first case because I'm just like, this is really sad. Gonta, I mean, stands out. It's such a simple character. You know, it's not like we've never seen a character like this before. The simple-minded, you know, broken English talking, just big teddy bear pretty much. We've seen this character time and time again. You know, just, oh, he looks so big and scary, but actually he's very kind, simple-minded. Oh, isn't that cute? They did his character very, very well. You know, it was not just the same old, same old. They did something a little bit different with it. He stands out as something unique, and all of these characters really do. The only one that I'll say maybe didn't stand out as much is probably Rantaro, and the only reason for that is just because they purposefully clouded him in mystery. And yeah, it's supposed to be that way. You know, you find out later on, apparently he survived the killing game that came before this one, and so that's why he was there for the next one. And so whenever he was killed off at the beginning, the whole, what was his ultimate talent, you know, who is he really, all of that just kind of felt like, you know, pushed to the side for the most part until the very end, like usual. But I will say the mystery surrounding that was very well done. You know, the mystery of them being ultimates was very well done as well. It's kind of a thought after you finish that first part of it, you know, it's kind of a thought that creeps into your mind where you're just thinking maybe they're not actually ultimates, because when they first come out of the lockers, they're all just like, oh, we're normal people. And then they get their memories back and now they're ultimates, right? You know, they're probably just normal people. But the game does a very good job of sort of being clever about it and revealing that they lost their memories during this ultimate hunt. So that way they weren't ultimates anymore. And so now all of a sudden it feels like that was done on purpose. It feels like, oh, they actually are ultimates. They just didn't remember at first because they lost their memories for the ultimate hunt. And kind of makes you put your doubts aside just so those doubts can be crushed again at the end of the game. You know, to find out that they're just normal people who wanted to be ultimates to be a part of this killing game. Now, they do leave it on kind of that note of, is any of that real? You know, is all of this story, all of this fiction that Tsumugi created, was this all just a part of something she saw? You know, the remnants of despair, Juko and Mishima, did she see all of that and then create a fictional world based on that? You know, they kind of leave it on in sort of a vague note of, you know, choose your own ending almost. You know, like, is this supposed to be you, the viewer, watching this as the audience that they're talking about? Or is this set in its own world where Makoto and Hajime and Kyoko and all of them, all of the Hope's Peak Academy, all of that did exist, but the world turned it into its own version of viewership. You know, after seeing the first Killing Game, the world wanted more of that. And so even after Makoto managed to save the day and Hajime and the Remnants of Despair managed to save the day, did all of that sort of get turned into its own little viewing thing? They sort of do this with almost every game. They sort of have an ending that's not fully explained. You know, they make it seem like it's a happy ending. You never really know. So they sort of go out on that note again. I don't really mind it so much because it is what I expect from these games. But I guess the final thing to talk about is the story itself. Just, you know, in general, from beginning to end, how does it all connect? It connects very well. You know, it's a story that really got me thinking from the very beginning. You know, them coming out of the lockers as normal kids. It kind of makes you think, okay, what is this? What does this mean for them? Are they really normal? Did they just forget their ultimate talents? What's going on? And so, you know, you go through the first trial, you learn a little bit about, you know, Kaede and Rantaro, but they keep a lot of mystery. And then you go through the second trial and, you know, you start to learn more. You start to get more memories of your past life. You start to get more memories of the people you left behind. Yeah, they did a very good job of progressing it, making it feel like any other Danganronpa game, just to reveal at the end that it's not any other Danganronpa game. It's the one to end these Danganronpa games. And so, is this going to be the last game? Possibly. You know, there still is a possibility to go from here and say, you know, okay, this was just setting up for another story where the Killing Games are still going on elsewhere. You know, this was not the final one or something. I don't know. I feel like this would be a very good place to end it just because they did a very good job of setting it up like that. I did see there, if you investigate during the first case, there's some posters, and Kaede pulls one out and opens it up, and it says Ultra Despair Girls 2. Is that a clever advertisement, or is this just, you know, hyping the possibility of another game? I don't know. It would be very interesting to see another game with, what's his name? Kamaro? I think it's been so long since I played that game, actually, I forgot her name, but Makoto's sister and Toko working together. I don't know, I really like that game, so I wouldn't mind seeing another one, but as far as this game's concerned, you know, it does feel like a very good way to sort of close out the series and say, look, guys, you know, these Killing Games, you guys asked for another one, you guys begged for another Danganronpa game. Here you go, and you're sick individuals for wanting more of this. But at the same time, they do show that, hey, it's a way for the series to go out on a high note, to say, these characters said, enough is enough, no more Killing Games, almost kind of have a moral about changing the world using this fiction. You know, what are you going to take out of this? I don't know, it was a very good way to wrap up everything, and in my opinion, it was a very, very good game. So, I'll think about that ending a few more days and see how it sits with me going forward. Obviously, I've got the extra mode. I'm very curious to see, I guess, what the extras on this game are going to be, because honestly, based on what I saw from the first two games, you can still have a lot of fun with this game even after the game is over. You know, playing around with some of these characters, doing the, you know, kind of the school mode where you're just going around hanging out with people instead of actually playing the game itself. So, I'll be interested to see how the rest of this game is, but as far as the main story goes, it was a very well set up story, very good payoff, and a lot of very good plot twists that I did not see coming. It's another really good Danganronpa game. So that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think this is going to be the last one? Do you want to see more? Let me know what you guys think. We can talk about and discuss all the good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future video game reviews. I'll see you guys the next game, whenever it is. Peace out.